authority or the airport management company cannot possibly be an expert at all. It just runs the logistics platform, which is what the airport is. And it gives to the man who does hotels, come and do hotel here. The man who does retail, come and do retail here. The man who does food and beverage, come and do food. The airport can't do it all. That's where the concessioning comes in. But what happens is the airport extracts sufficient value for the asset it is giving to you as a concession, and you make sufficient money because it's a captive business environment. So if I tell you to come and come and do a hotel or come and do a shop in the airport, I guarantee you feet because people must travel. But because I can't do it myself, I'm giving it to you, I must get value for what I'm giving you and make sure that you too get value. But you can't come in and take it for free at my expense.
Which is obviously the case what we're experiencing right now. Now let's even move away from that. I know we might still have to come back to this issue, but let's even move away from that and come back to yourself. And since you came on board as the managing director of FAN sometime last year, I think in October, if I'm right.
October 2011.
Exactly. Now we know what happened at the period. There were some protests by some members of staff. Some were a little bit skeptical about some of the changes that were going to be happening. But looking at your background now, from what has been happening within the last 6-7 months, what can you say has been the major thing that you brought on board? Apart from this issue of concessioning that we're now having to deal with.
Well, for one thing, we've brought on board a focus that hasn't been there for more than a generation, for more than 30 years. We sat back, first of all. I think one thing that's very critical to say is we have a minister who's a successful entrepreneur in her own right. She knows how to run a business. And so she came in and made a specific attempt to surround herself with chief executives that were professionals in the business of the environments she was appointing them into. So we sat down as a team and we developed a roadmap, which is very important. Where are we today? We went around all the airports.
Exactly.
She was, in fact, specifically in Port Harcourt, she shed tears. She went aside into a room and broke down when she saw some of the back-of-house issues, not even the ones in front, which was already very bad. And she was very determined. Besides, she's been very angry for a long time as a regular flyer about the airport. So when she got appointed a minister and made the Minister of Aviation, it was like, aha, let me come and see what's going on in this industry. So we decided we're going to make a total break from the past. We're going to prepare a roadmap and then work in terms of that roadmap, and which is what we began to do. Now, one of the critical issues and why we seem to have all these critics you're talking about is that for a very long time, this industry has been a boys' club, a chummy boys' club. A lot of these vocal critics have been very happy to, from one minister to another, be on one committee or another. They fly around the world and make a lot of noise and do nothing. And the industry we are in today actually is their legacy, the hole we're trying to dig ourselves out of. So they say the first thing you do when you're in a hole is to stop digging. So we had to choose a bunch of new age professionals who know what's happening in the world to come and get this industry going. Now they felt excluded. They thought this was another jamboree of traveling and forming committees and all that go up and down and spend government money and do nothing. Murtala Mohammed Airport has been like that for 30-something years. Nothing done. The domestic terminal, nothing done. Abuja, nothing done. Port Harcourt, nothing done. They were very happy in that industry. All of a sudden, we're here now, we're saying, enough. Let's start to change these things. We're not different from the rest of the world. We can do this if we set our minds. So in 18 months, this is what we've done. This is just, do you know that this is 18 months? And they are shouting. Initially they were saying, they want to start painting and saying they spend billions painting. They began to see that that's not what we are doing. We did a roadmap, they say, roadmap to where roadmap. This is people that their legacy is this industry, this whole. So I think people are beginning to see, especially the people in the industry right now, are beginning to see that these people actually have a mission. And they are following a road. We're not getting up every morning and just being ad hoc. We're following a carefully calibrated roadmap of transformation. And I'm very proud of what we've done so far. And I can't even wait for us to reach the milestone. Right now we're at less than, we're probably about 30% of what we have to do. We still have a long way to go, but we're doing
70%
as fast as we can. Yeah.
Now let's even come now to the issue of the remodeling of our airports. I know that the agency of FAN actually owns and operates 22 of these airports. We've started some remodeling, of course. Some have already reached an advanced stage, and others are still coming on stream. But looking at the phases, there are two phases actually, if I'm right. And what would you say has been the major thing that you can really say that yes, we are really moving in the right direction?
Well,
I mean, it's one thing to remodel the airports, make them look all flashy and conform with in terms of facilities. But what actually goes on after that? What goes on within? And what should Nigerians really be expecting?
Well, we travel a lot, and we see how airports are elsewhere in the world. The airport is the face of a country. I remember my first visit to Kano when I came. I was so hurt and disappointed. I thought an international flight with people who have been hearing about Nigeria for many years, the person will arrive in Kano, having heard about Nigeria, seen us in sports, seen our kind of international profile. They eventually come to our country and they'll come out in what I call that dump in Kano. Immediately, the first thing that will come to your mind is, my goodness, so why are we hearing about these people? It wasn't a representation of Nigeria. Neither is the rest of the state of the airports that we met, especially Murtala Mohammed Airport. Now, we're doing a hell of a lot of work in Murtala Mohammed Airport. It's happening behind the scenes. The airport is a bad experience waiting to happen every day. It's been left. You don't ever leave airports like that for 30-something years. It's got a 2-lane drop-and-go road system. No matter how efficiently you're dropping and going, at peak, traffic is going to back up because it's just not enough to have 2 lanes. Until we expand it, we're going to be suffering. And expansion is part of the process. Same thing in the terminals. There's a lot of issues. The squeeze to go through immigration, the squeeze to go through security, fan security, backs up, because an airport is designed to move. As soon as it's not moving, it starts to back up because people keep coming. And that's why Murtala Mohammed is in that shape.
And of course, it's the busiest airport by far in the country. Now
we are now changing all of that. We're expanding seriously on both wings. We're going to take all of that processing to the sides from 6 immigration booths in the middle and 3 on the side, a total of about 9 or 10. Right now we're going to have 40 and 40 on both sides, 80. That's going to totally take away this issue. From 6 and 3, 9 fan security checkpoints, we're now going to have 10 and 10, 20. So that bottleneck is going to go away. And we're redesigning it such that these modules have their own modular air conditioning, central air conditioning. So if the central air conditioning goes down in one module, you fix it, but it doesn't affect the rest of the airport. Whereas the design of the airport had one central air conditioning system that came with the airport in 1979.
Which some I would say some of the staff have already been so used to. So getting to change to that style might prove a little bit difficult or challenging.
Of course, it's never been easy to change an organization like FAN, which has always been a sit down and watch organization in many ways, to become a very highly proactive, highly driven business that focuses on customer service and service delivery, because that's what we're about. And so the process is starting now. We're launching at the beginning of May. And I see at the end of it, not just an organization that has transformed its infrastructure, but an organization that is capable of running world-class airports. That's very, very important. That's the legacy I would like to leave. An organization that's capable of running world-class airports. That runs, if you see its logo on an airport, you know what to expect.
Now, of course, since you've been at the saddle, you've had opportunities of visiting several of these airports, and of course, you've been engaged in several interviews and seminars and workshops. And I just want to take you up on one important thing that you said, in one of your numerous, forums and seminars that you had undertaken, and that has to do with you saying that you will ensure that there is a projected revenue and business outlay, for FAN, and which will become self-sustaining by the year 2015. 2015, and we will no longer have to rely on subventions from government.
Yeah.